You're listening to Doris Radio.
You're listening to Doris Radio on WHCP.
You're listening to Doris
101.
Radio on
Listening to
WHCP.
Doris Radio.
Doris
on
Radio,
WHCP.
Welcome back. This is Antone Reynolds, and you're listening to Doris Radio on WHCP 101.5 FM.
Man, Antone, it has been absolutely excellent catching up with you throughout this episode, and you made so many, really thought-provoking points. And with our overarching theme being mental health, I would love to know about your experience and if you have any tips on how it is that you've gone about maintaining and handling your mental health and dealing with it naturally.
I think first was in any mental health situation, it's just like digging yourself in a hole sometimes. So now digging yourself in a hole, what's the first thing you do when you want to get out of the hole? You put the shovel down. Stop digging. See, this word triggers people. And when you're triggered and you're digging a hole, see, if somebody's trying to throw dirt on you, you can dodge the dirt, stamp it under your feet, raise up. But when you dig in a hole, you're throwing dirt on yourself. And then it's hard to know which way is up and which way is down. So we have to be able to put the shovel down figuratively when we look at the mirror and we reassess what we've done during the day, how we feel about it. See, and that can almost seem like a weak thing. It's been times that I've been brought to tears and I look in the mirror and I can't stand to see myself cry. You know what I mean? Those are the things that we have to face. We have to look past that, look into what's really causing our hurt. And normally 9 times out of 10, it's ignoring a calling or something that we should be doing that we're not doing. That's the basis of everybody's hurt. So, but it's hard to have those honest conversations with yourself, because the truth is, you're in super trouble. You're in big trouble when you start believing your own BS. You can lie to anybody you want, but when you start lying to yourself, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? Talking yourself into that thing, like, yeah, it's all good. You know it ain't all good. So being honest with ourselves is the number one thing to start to secure your mental health. Being honest with you. And then it's the redirection of the anger that is going to come up from that realization with being unhappy with yourself. So for me, music was one aspect of it because it allowed me to voice it, whether it was in the tracks that I did or the instruments that I played or the bars that I spit, but it was not physically satisfying. Because you have to connect on all three to be healthy mentally, and that's, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical. So this actually hallmarked the end of my skateboarding days because because I found the gym. I found the gym where I was in a place mentally where I did not only know who I was, I just knew that the things I did pleased other people. I was a people pleaser, and my skill set revolved around making people happy, but I never really stopped to consider what I wanted for me. So dealing with those empty feelings, I found the gym, I cut grass, you know what I mean, bought me a little Kmart weight set when I was like 13 years old. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just started lifting weights.
13.
Yeah, 13. I started lifting weights. Just, you know what I mean, just little concrete weights, you know what I mean? But that's when I got it. I saw I always watch like cartoons, you know, like we talked before, Superman, He-Man, stuff like that. But when I saw Conan the Barbarian and realized people could really look like that, it changed the game. But what really made me feel good, at first it was a more of a feeling of vanity. Like I liked how I looked. I liked how it made me feel. You know what I mean? People started respecting me, whether I could fight or not. They didn't know because they didn't want to find out. You know what I mean? So it got me through a few situations before I ever had to really get there. But it also gave me a place to put that monster, that angry, not having a father. It didn't hurt my childhood. Like I said, my grandmother did an amazing job as far as I'm concerned of taking care of me. However, there were things that she knew she couldn't teach me. And then I got into those teenage years and I would have these questions like, well, am I doing this like a man's supposed to do it? Or am I doing this the way my mama told me a man's supposed to do it? It's a difference. It's a difference. So that anger that I used to have in this identity crisis needed a physical release because I'm already hyperactive. You know, so when I used the weight room, I could burn that energy off, not hurt anyone, and not start no trouble because I'm too tired to lift my arms. You know, so it started to become a coping skill for me. And then as I got older, I realized that everything in that gym for me is the best form of equivalent exchange that exists because you get out exactly what you put in. Nobody else on your back, no strings attached, nobody's fault, just you. So that is an honest evaluation of how you dedicate and commit yourself. And those are two words that just black people got a problem with, period. You know what I mean? So I've, for a long time, put all of that extracurricular energy into lifting weights to help my mental state. And then it got me to a place where I started studying psychology on my own. My godmother, God rest her, she got me for my 14th birthday a subscription to Psychology Today. And so I've been reading. I've been an avid reader of Psychology Today since I was about 15 years old. And because I wanted to know what was wrong with me. I was trying to diagnose myself because we didn't have therapy back then. You know, you didn't do that. You went to the barber shop. You shut up. You know what I mean? You know. So we went to, so I started lifting, working on my mental state, and then and that's when it hit me. I'm not supposed to get rid of anger. That's dumb. It's part of who we are. But I have to channel it and put it in a place where it's useful. So, you know, I also worked as a TOT, that's a trainer of trainers with the juvenile system, with DJS for 8 years. I love working with kids where we are. I feel like if I'm sitting here and I'm trying to tell you, come up to this level, but I've never been to that level, I got to be willing to go back down in the dirt, grab a hand, and pull it up. So meeting all kinds of kids with all kinds of problems at their level and being able to talk to them and be able to rap with them, beat bang on the tables, you know, like, oh, Mr. Tony got bars, you know what I mean? But and so connecting. So when they got upset and they started acting out, I'm like, yo, drop 20 push-ups. I didn't care where they were. Burn that energy off. Next thing you know, we were having push-up sessions and you know, special activities around sports to help them deal with the anger.
I love that.
You know, even when the time came, I had kids that, you know, they couldn't sleep through the night without having to be restrained. So, you know, I'll open the door quick and be like, what's it going to be tonight? You know? They want to lock up, hey, okay, write the report, whatever, and then they sleep. But then, you know, we reconcile right at that moment. It's all about de-escalation. If this is what you need, you know what I mean, I'm here for you. However, you know, we got to learn how to do better. And what I learned from Juvenile, especially when we were dealing with mothers, crazy. Hey, I'm on the radio. I'll call you back. Like literally. You knew that's what I was down here for. You know, but that's crazy. Man. I love her to death. Love her to death. Glad somebody cares enough to call me. You know. So, but what I learned is that mothers unknowingly make their sons prepare their sons for jail. And it's an unpopular opinion, I'm sure, because a lot of women are going to fall into this category. You know, but you know, I want all the smoke. Because we have to get past these hard conversations. See, like I said, Jim Crow, it relies heavy because it's the example that was set. They take the strongest of us, you know, in front of our wives, children, peers, castrate us, beat us up, shoot us, hang us, disfigure us, made that mother hold that son real tight. You know what I mean? Made her think she can't trust her man to protect her no more because look what happened to the strongest of us. So that mother raises you like, I don't care what nobody says. Somebody hits you, man, woman, or child, you hit them back. You don't be afraid no fight. You better go out there and fight somebody hit you or I'm going to fight you. You know what I mean? And they thought that was protective for our boys, but it did not teach us how to channel the adrenaline from those situations that turned into anxiety because we had no physical recourse. You see what I mean? So what that actually did was when you take a little kid, 8 years old, and you tell them whenever your feelings is hurt, fight. Somebody hurts you, fight. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody, and that's what they teach you. Women don't think about what happens when testosterone kicks in around 12, 13 years old, and you've made him ultra aggressive off of emotion. See, now, then they want to call juvenile services and be like, come get him, I can't control him, he's out of control. That's because you raised a Rottweiler. You raised an attack dog. See, men can't be as emotional as females because of our physical manifestation of it. Yeah, you know what I mean? So you're setting, without them knowing it, doing the best they can, you know, you're setting yourself up, and it sends the wrong signal over a period of time, you know, because now the women had to be twice as hard because the men have been demasculinized, you know, so now the women are now growing up like, sometimes I got to remind my wife, you're my wife, not my mother. You know, but that's part of that nurture nature when there ain't no daddy around. They play both roles, and our signals is a little bit crossed. But we're not supposed to be the same. We wasn't built that way. We were built to interconnect, to connect one another, to procreate and to keep what's good, good. I'll be with that.
Beautiful, beautiful, man. Antone Reynolds, I thank you again. Thank you so much for sharing your light. Until next time.
Love you, brother.
Love you, my man. We're closing out with Jim Drama, Push Up. This has been Doris Radio on WHCP 101.5. Keep it locked.
We can make it. Here's what you said to me when I seem to be frustrated. Over the hate we breed and the love don't seem to replace it. Over mistakes I see and the stakes just seem elevated. You said you could explain it, so explain it. I'm waiting.